We're halfway through the year, and what a great year it's been. Now is also a fantastic time to review your business operations. Hence why we produced our book, somewhere down here, called the Mid-Year Review Playbook. The Mid-Year Review book provides a clear framework for you to check 4 key areas of your business. The business itself, the numbers that is, operations, the team, and strategy, marketing, and sales. And I'll explain in a little bit why I lumped that lot together. The workbook also has a checklist at the end to make sure you've covered all the key important areas. Okay, so let's dive straight into it. The first section is the business section. Okay, this area covers your numbers, right? And looks at some of those important parts of your business. So, for example, budget versus actual. Is your business heading in the right direction? Your budget was set 12 months ago, I suppose, and gave you a guidance as to about where you wanted to be by the end of this coming financial year, or indeed even next year. A halfway point through the year is a fantastic time to have a look at that and go, am I on track? So some of the key things to look at are sales. Are my sales where I thought they'd be? Margins. Are my margins as strong or as robust as I'd hoped? Look at your expenses, overheads in particular. Overheads have a nasty habit of creeping up over time. And so now's a great time to reflect and say, okay, are those other costs that I've got involved in the business still needed? Look at your accounts receivable, right? These are the amounts of money that people owe you, your invoices. Are they being collected quickly enough? Is there anybody out there who regularly drags their feet? Are there any bad debts in there? Okay, do you need to even think about legal action or collections against some of those bad debtors? Okay, this half year is a great time to think about this thing because your debtors impacts and how quickly you collect the debtors massively impacts how much cash you have, which is the lifeblood of your business. Speaking of lifeblood and cash flow, the next part is looking at your cash flow. Okay, is it robust enough? Are you generating enough cash? Are you able to pay your bills on time? Do you have enough working capital in the business? And we've got a bunch of tools we can help you to determine those numbers. But often it's a bit of a gut feel as well, because you know if things aren't being paid on time and you're under stress. And if at the halfway mark throughout the year, you're feeling that stress, it might be a good time to look at the cash flow and see how it can be improved. Finally, at this time of year, it's also, as part of the business overview, it's also a great time to look at tax planning as well. No good doing tax planning on 30th of June because, quite frankly, the year's over. Now's the time to look at those things like, are the structures right? Are there tax things you can take advantage of, tax laws and tax rules you can take advantage of? Are there ways you should restructure your business or redo your business to make it more tax efficient? What's the likely tax payments going to be over the next 6 to 12 months, your tax installments? Okay, now's a great time to have a think about those sort of things and get tax planning underway as well. The second part of the book's on operations. This is how the business actually runs. And this gets a bit away from the numbers and looks more about things like, are you delivering your goods and services on time, as effectively as possible, as efficiently as possible? Is it got the right quality? It doesn't matter whether you're a service business like us, we're an accounting firm, or whether you're delivering widgets to customers as an e-commerce store, or indeed whether you're a fund manager managing other people's monies. In all cases, we're offering a good or a service to a client or a customer. And now's a great time to say, are we running as efficiently as possible? Are we doing that as best as possible? Is it with the right consistency and quality? In my firm, for example, looking at tax and the tax advice we give and the tax compliance pieces we do, is that done at the as efficiently as possible? All the teams have got processes they've got to follow and checklists they've got to follow. Are those being done properly? It's also a good time to have to think about your systems and processes. Are these in place? We're just going through an exercise at the moment, refreshing some of our processes because they were written 2 or 3 years ago and they're not longer fit for purpose. And we're rewriting those at the moment as part of this exercise. Look at capacity and constraints within your business. Okay, I'm a people business. We rely on people to do the work. So my limiting factor in my business is how many accounts we've got on the books. Do we have the right people at this point in time? And so making sure that they're used properly and their capacities where it should be is important for us. It hasn't been that way the last 6 months and will continue to be in the future. If you're a e-commerce store, for example, your capacity might be how much inventory you can hold. It might be physical, as in, do I have enough physical space to hold the inventory? It might be financial. Do I have enough working capital to be able to afford the inventory to put it on the shelves? If I'm manufacturing and getting the goods manufactured, can I have enough throughput through my manufacturing system or through my third-party manufacturing system to generate enough inventory from the demand that I expect or have? Finally, from an operations perspective, it's also great now to look at customer experience, customer feedback. This is a time of year when it might pay to reach out to customers and clients and say, hey, listen, how are we doing? Those comments sometimes will be great and people give you great feedback, and sometimes it'll hurt. But you know what? The ones that hurt are the important ones, because that's the feedback that you need to improve your business. And also, if you give the clients an opportunity to give you not so good feedback, it also means you can improve things before they leave. Most customers and clients who don't come back or who leave do so without warning, at least as far as you're concerned as a business owner. And so by getting a bit of feedback up front, that might help you save a potential customer who would leave or solidify an existing relationship to make it more profitable in the future. Section 3 deals with a team. Regardless of your business, you're going to need people. Okay, even manufacturing entities, construction, professional services, financial services, e-commerce stores, retailers, etc., all need people to actually operate the business. Even in this world of AI, and AI is going to wipe out LA jobs, you still need people to run the place. And so this is a great time of year to reflect and have some good conversations with your staff. We've done this. We did this back in December. Everyone did a half-year review. Look, we're a small firm. We don't make it overly complicated. But for us, we have several key metrics that we use. And so the first thing is, as a business owner, the first question to ask yourself, do you have the right people in the right place, doing the right thing at the right time? Are their roles clarified? Do they know what they need to do? Have you got KPIs set? How are you measuring performance? Do the guys know, your team know how they're measured? They might think they're doing a great job and you think they're doing an awful job. Or probably even worse, they might think they're doing an awful job and you reckon they're the best employee you've ever had. Okay? Give them some honest feedback. It helps build the confidence and it helps build the firm. Work out if you need to hire. If you've got business growing at a rate of knots, when do you need to hire the next person? Or are you able to get your operations efficient enough that you don't have to hire the next person? But either way, workforce planning is important, and it takes months to get the right person in the seat. And finally, identify some training gaps. Everybody needs training, and everybody needs professional development to improve the way their roles work. You know, the world is changing, and so we need to change with it. And so identifying those gaps in their knowledge and what training opportunities you can give to staff. And it's also great for staff morale. If they feel like you're investing in them, they will hopefully reciprocate that by doing a better job. Section 4 is on strategy, marketing, and sales. And I've kind of lumped those three things together because they are a bit different, but they're also really interconnected. I'll explain what I mean, working backwards. Sales are sales. Are you selling enough? If you've got a sales force in place, are they meeting their sales budgets? Are they bringing the right sorts of clients in and the right sorts of customers in with the right sales dollars and the right sorts of margins on sales? Your marketing is your fishing exercise. It's the net you throw out there, the fishing lines you throw out there to the world at large, and you're trying to catch the right sorts of fish. Is your marketing working? Are those right sorts of fish being caught and sent to your sales guys? Or are you getting the sort of clients you don't want? And so if that's the case, making sure that your marketing is stretched correctly. You can actually measure performance marketing, return on investment. It's a really critical measure. That's something that we do as well. We know how much we spend on marketing. We also have a fairly good idea about where most of our clients come from, and those that have come from marketing, for example, and those who come through other channels. And so those that have come from the marketing channel, how much we're spending and how much we generate in revenue is a really critical factor for us to measuring return on investment. There's no point in spending $100 on marketing if you're only going to generate $60 in sales, because then obviously one doesn't match the other. You want to have a multiple of your marketing spend and new sales. And I said at the beginning of this section, this is a bit backwards because this all goes back to strategy. The strategy part says, why are we here? Who do we exist for? What are we selling? What products or services are we delivering? How are we making our customers or clients' lives better and happier? And so having a moment to reflect on that at this point in time is also really important. We did this with one of our brands earlier this year. We have a brand, we launched it. It's not going as well as it should for a whole bunch of different reasons. So for now, it's just put on ice temporarily while we focus on other areas of the business. We'll resurrect it and continue with it, but at the moment, it's just having a bit of a quiet moment. And that's a strategic review at this time of year that's really beneficial to the business at large. Okay, so what's next? Well, pick 2 or 3 actions over the next 6 months. Look at the business, look at the areas that need the most work, and take those 2 or 3 actions and make them the priority to do between now and the end of the year. Make sure you write them down. I'm a firm believer in writing down goals and actions because it holds you to them. I put mine on the whiteboard in the office. All the guys can see exactly what those 3 things are going to be in the next 6 months. I see them every single time I walk by the whiteboard. If you've got a big management team or a big enough management team, delegate responsibility to certain people for those actions. So if there's a marketing action, delegate it to the marketing manager. If there's an operations action, delegate it to the operations or production managers. Make sure those people are held accountable. Weekly catch-ups, for example. Again, we run a weekly cadence meeting of our little team of managers and make sure that things are done properly. Make sure that those actions we've got are on track for finalisation by the end of the quarter or the end of the year. Okay, some of the common mistakes we see in sort of refreshing things at this time of year are trying to do too many things at once. Okay, the number of things you think you can do and the number of things you can actually do is vastly different. I've got a book which is full of great ideas, but I know I could probably only pull off 2 or 3 well over the next 6 months. And so I'll focus on those 2 or 3 things and everything else will just sit in the book until the right time. No accountability. Again, plans are great, thoughts are great, everything looks fantastic when you're on having a time out of the office or out of the warehouse or out of the shop. When you throw them back into the throes of day-to-day business, of course, everything turns to hell. And so making sure that you're accountable for those actions over time. Hey, look, this sort of stuff's bandied about a lot, but it is true. Okay, and you as the business owner ultimately have key responsibility for doing this and making your business run better. Okay, so that's the mid-year review playbook. Download it from our website and give us a call or email if you've got any questions. Thanks.